have you decided to meet all these people and not the
Annie, if you were in our shoes, will you trust the Electoral Commission with everything you have observed, everything you have covered, the posturing, the statements coming from individuals within the Commission? You know, this is not where it started. And I'll just say, dear Jean Mensa, I've admired Jane for the longest time. When I was in Lagos in my first or second year, 1999-2000, I participated in an IEA youth leadership program. It must have been 2001 because the NPP was in government and President Akufo-Addo was Attorney General. I remember because on one of our nights with, so there were nights that would have a visit from, you know, somebody to come and speak with us. On one of the nights, Akufo-Addo came and we took a picture and I was standing next to him, Attorney General at the time. So I have had admiration for her work. And I also recall this presidential debate. You know, 2012, I was a co-moderator of the presidential debates, right? Okay, so I had an opportunity. Yes, I was. Yeah. And I worked, we used to go there for meetings. Professor Nana Jane was also on the debates as well as Kojo Opon. We used to go for meetings there. And so at that time, I experienced what she was trying to do to contribute to building our democracy. On the specific matter of calling for audit, there is evidence that when she was at IEA, even she responded to calls from the opposition then about the sanctity of our electoral register, to the extent of also encouraging the Electoral Commission to accede to the request for an audit. What could we lose with an audit of a document that has gone through different kinds of, you know, evolutions? So based on that singular recognition and comment, which is on record, from none other than Jean Mensa when she was IEA, who is now at the Electoral Commission, I would have loved to think that she would have been more open and even troubleshoot some of these issues that have bedecked the Commission since she ascended the throne. You know, if I was here, the circumstances under which Charlotte was hounded out of that office, I wouldn't have accepted that office. But she came in, you know, and I'm sure under proper consideration of what the role would entail. So I am quite saddened and sometimes disappointed at the posturing. Before we got to this point, it had to do with even the appointment of some of the commissioners. 2 commissioners known as signs with links to the New Patriotic Party. Everybody votes. So nobody is, in the sense of the word, in essence, neutral. But there are some institutions that must be cloaked from notions, perceptions, or any inclinations of partisanship. The Electoral Commission is one such important institution, because if it fails, the potential to plunge this country into chaos is real. So it is one of the institutions that require a certain high level of protection. Some CEOs petitioned for the resignation of those individuals. CDD was amongst. So it is not an NDC observation. It is an observation from CSOs when that appointment was made. What happened? It was poo-pooed. And today we are where we are, where a commissioner can address a press conference to respond to concerns from an opposition party, a major opposition party, and you try to ridicule their stance by telling us that, oh, there was a time, you are happy that they have now seen this because there was a time where trees and whatever was on our electoral, when STL was doing it, and there's an explanation for it. They had to do different kinds of simulations to see how the system will capture various images. And they used different things to do that simulation. That was the reason. So it was not like who will come and put trees in an electoral register and leave it there. Shouldn't they tell you that? Then the Electoral Commission itself has a problem. Because some of you workers, you've been at the commission for several years. So please, if you say you love Ghana just as we love Ghana, we know we are a party in waiting, coming into government, inshallah, January 7th, 2025. Why would we want to do anything that disrupts the process? If there was no, if there weren't any genuine concerns that you yourself, you have agreed. How can BVDs and BVRs in your custody get missing? Up to date, we don't know the story. How did they get missing? How did someone get caught in Nsawam with a BVD equipment? If some people are showing you the signs, we must believe you. You're beginning to show us who you are. So we are believing you. And to believe you means that we must be extra vigilant. When they asked for the register, you are telling us that you have corrected. You see, you said we should bring. You said you gave a pen drive that we should go and put our findings in, because they did the presentation at to the Electoral Commission. They did the presentation. They saw
that's
some
the one
of
that we were refused of the live coverage.
Yes,
that you requested
yes.
for. Okay.
Yes, so that we will carry Ghanaians along, because we don't want to make it look like we are complaining and lamenting over no issue. So we wanted Ghanaians to be witnesses to what we are presenting to the Electoral Commission at this stage. Please, transparency, full transparency is the only cure for whatever mischief you think NDC is doing, or what NDC believes you're doing. It's only full transparency that can be the cure. And then you said you have already corrected some of the errors. Which errors? If we have not given them to you, which errors have you committed? Have you corrected? So there is a major issue. All these stakeholders asking us to come into a meeting. Let us come into a meeting with everybody. Where are you running away from? If we have something to hide, why would we want witnesses?
Did you invite?
If we didn't have a case,
NDC to this meeting?
No, they don't need to be. So we've already gone to see them.
Yeah, but
so we've already gone to do a presentation to the Electoral Commission, and they said that they have corrected some of the errors and they are almost done with, the corrections. So if I have come to you with the problem and you say you have resolved the problem, should you not give the copy of what you have resolved so I can now, compare with mine to see if you have resolved it? Logically, that's what you should do. Yeah. But you have not done that. And you are rather asking me to give you my comprehensive, which I should just give it to you. On what basis?
The reason I'm asking is, when you went to them, you had gone to the EC, and you say, give us a live coverage of what we're going to present. Yes, and they refused you. Yes. So in this case, once you have the opportunity to do your press conference, now I am doing my press conference. I'm sending you an invitation. This one, I'm going to put a live coverage to it. You understand? So having invited all these CSOs, I won't, stay away from inviting you to come and be a part of it. I don't think it takes anything away.
It doesn't take anything if they want to attend it. Yeah. But this next level of intervention is to give these CSOs and some individuals direct access to what we have found, so that they would know and assess for themselves if there's any legitimacy to our complaints, upon which I should then expect that we demand from the Electoral Commission to offer us what they have. So we do a comparison. If you have resolved all our problems, then there's no problem. Okay. But we cannot go less than 70 days into this election.
Okay. So we
with such a faulty register, where several hundreds of people have had their have had their votes transferred to polling stations without their permission, that they are not aware of. Please, let's keep this country together. We are not asking for much. We are asking for cooperation and transparency. If the EC has nothing to hide, they have much to prove.
So it was
more proactive.
Earlier, it was a little difficult to have the MPP comment on these matters that were happening between strictly the NDC and the EC. But the NPP has now officially spoken to it and have said how they are against the request of the NDC. So. Now, quoting from the statement, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, we in the NPP will be hypocrites to suggest that the NDC acted wrongly by engaging the EC with their concerns pertaining to 2024 provisional register and other matters of the electoral concern. Historically, the NPP has been known for being lead advocates and crusaders for most of the electoral reforms that have positively shaped our nation and democracy. From the campaign against the use of opaque ballots, okay, so this is the history of what how they have contributed to the changes. However, what many Ghanaians and the NPP cannot comprehend is when the NDC still has not submitted to the EC detailed information of its so-called irregularities, discrepancies, and authorized manipulation of the provisional register, despite several appeals by the EC. For instance, in page 2 of their petition to the EC, the NDC stated emphatically that they have uncovered evidence of 240,540 illegal transfers, 3,957 deleted names of voters, as well as over 15,000 unidentified voter transfers passed in the provisional register. Yet 13 days after the NDCs first met the EC on September 6, 2024, they have still not provided a single document to authenticate any of these.
So, Annie, is it the basis on which they say they are now going, they would also protest any action by the Electoral Commission to open up to forensic audits? Does this make sense?
My question rather, well, that's your question, but my question is, so what did the EC correct?
So that is the thing. What did they correct?
Yeah.
On what did they correct?
Okay.
So it means they themselves have seen some of these problems. If we have not assumed that, it means they themselves have seen the problems.
The EC has seen some discrepancies and have corrected it. But they also say that you still have to present at least the numbers that have been mentioned that you presented. These are the numbers. They want to see those numbers. So
we don't want to do it in the bedroom with them. So that they'll come and say that's what.
Okay.
But what is the problem of opening
so is the
up?
NDC's position that if the EC wants to do
and
it
they
in
have
public,
same
you will
positions
agree?
in the past.
No, I'm saying, would you agree if it's not done in the bedroom?
But what are you hearing us say? We are saying that open up the process. Haven't you seen us
being
say
that you are bringing the information for them to verify? No, not so. You are just ab initio, you are going to the highest. You are trying to kill this little ant with the sledgehammer just from the beginning. You haven't engaged them. You haven't sent your you haven't sent the evidence of this impropriety to them, and you are already calling for an audit. That's just by the way. I think